Welcome to another edition of Sports Visions and to our worldwide web viewers on www.sportsvisionsusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Wonderful, man. We're fresh back from the SEC Championship game in Atlanta. Had an opportunity to go up and experience it as a fan. You and I both made a conscious decision that, you know what, let's just go up and enjoy ourselves, the corporate tailgate, the game, just to soak up the festivities, and I think you'll appreciate what we have to say about that.
Well, yeah, we can appreciate that, and we appreciate those media credentials now. And, you know, the other thing about it, DJ, is that as a fan, you got to have some favor, player.
You do have to have some favor. Also, coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk a little bit about the Heisman Trophy candidates. Of course, they have narrowed it down to 3 that will be traveling to New York. We'll also talk about our high school football awards luncheon. Of course, just happened this past weekend. Man, oh man, what a favor it was for Nick Saban to come to town.
Big time, DJ. Really just added more emphasis on our luncheon each year now, the award luncheon. I think really all the kids had an enjoyable time, and the corporate community did also.
All that and more coming up next on Sports Visions.
We love Legacy Chevrolet Cadillac of Columbus.
And fishing in Eufaula. And hiking in Pine Mountain.
The racetrack in Phoenix City. And all the soldiers at Fort Benning.
And you'll love these great deals. 0% interest for 72 months on all Chevy products. Or receive up to $11,000 in rebates on our 2015 Camaro Z28. And Legacy is offering up to $6,250 in rebates on all Chevy All-Star 1500 trucks. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. Last Friday, we had an opportunity to travel up the road to Atlanta, of course, to get comfortable and situated for the SEC Championship. And I know that that was a matchup that a lot of people thought might have been, I guess, uneven, if you will. But at the same time, I think that Florida was prepared defensively for Alabama. Alabama obviously was a little bit too dominant.
Well, too dominant on defense, DJ. And, you know, Florida just doesn't have a lot of offense, didn't have enough offense to stay in the game with Alabama's defense. Everybody knew that. I don't think there was no surprises. The 29-15 game, Derrick Henry is going to get fed 36 times, 189 on the yards. I mean, typical Alabama game player.
Congratulations to Derrick Henry, by the way. He broke Herschel Walker's regular season rushing record. And, of course, you know, when you start being mentioned in the same breath with Herschel Walker, you obviously are an outstanding player and had a great season. But Derrick Henry, no doubt, has had a fantastic opportunity to show the world that he deserves to be in New York. And he, of course, we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Right. I mean, really, he's proven all year long, DJ, that he is a horse. I mean, 36, you know, he probably averaged almost about 30 times, carrying the ball 30 times a game, over 100. I know he did 200-plus yards, at least 5 games. This guy almost rushed for 2,000 yards, and like you said, broke a single-season SEC rushing record.
In addition to the actual matchup, credit has to be given to, again, the players and the coaches for Alabama, because in the midst of this, you know, it was speculated and, of course, later named that Kirby Smart, the defensive coordinator, the longtime assistant of Nick Saban, was going to be taking the job at Georgia. And, again, in the midst of this, the kids stayed focused, the coaches stayed focused. Kirby stayed, of course, as classy and focused as he always has been, and they went out and took care of business.
I think they took care of business, and really, DJ, we date back to the SEC Media Day when Nick Saban stepped to the podium. He had focus. He mentioned focus over and over again because he knows the month of December, his guys got to stay focused. You know, you got, the championship game is over with. Now you got finals. Then you're going to have the NFL evaluation. And then you play on December 31st. So these guys got to stay focused, and I think that's the only thing that railroaded Alabama last year. This year, I think Nick's got his guys much more focused, and they're in it for the long run. Player.
I know that the Florida Gators, and I know the fans might have been upset, but they really didn't. They didn't expect this. They didn't see this coming. In the first year, of course, Coach McElwain coming in there, of course, winning the East, and of course, taking them to Atlanta. You know what? They just had a great season, and this guy, in my mind, is definitely up for the Coach of the Year.
I mean, yeah, he did a great job. You know, following behind the Muschamp mishaps and using his players. He did a great job. He got those guys focused and ready. I think he did an admirable job, and I'm sure he will be one of the top candidates. But I still got Nick Saban as my Coach of the Year, DJ. I'm gonna tell you why. It's much harder coaching when everybody expects you to be good every year and every game being a big game, and he keeps his kids focused. And I think really the best thing that happened to Alabama this year, they lost early to Ole Miss. But that's why I got Nick Saban as my coach of the year, because every year is expected for Alabama to be good. And, you know, most of the time when you do everything that big people expect you to do, DJ, you don't get the credit that you need.
Well, you know how much respect I have for Nick Saban, and certainly I think that what you said would definitely should be an honor if they run the gamut and they win the national championship, because, again, the bar has just been set that way. When you talk about McElwain with Florida, here's a guy, an unknown, first year on the job, coming in, doesn't even have his players on the roster, but he's taken a team that failed miserably and ended up in the SEC championship game. Won, I think, 10 or 11 games. I mean, you know, who does that anymore? And again, on this level. Now, let's talk a little bit about the next step. You know, of course, Alabama now has qualified for the playoffs, and of course, we matched up against Michigan State.
That's going to be a big-time game, player. You know, we sat and we watched that Michigan State-Iowa game. I think really one of the biggest things with Michigan State, Alabama playing these guys, they're going to be able to play with Alabama. And I think really after all the run that Alabama is playing, nobody's been able to play with them. I think Michigan State has a good defense, just like Alabama has. And then to have a 22-play game-winning drive to win against Iowa, that's big, and I think really it's going to be a very competitive game.
Real quickly, I know that Alabama and Michigan State will be going at it out in AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
Right.
Down in Miami, of course, you have Clemson going up against Oklahoma.
That's going to be a barn burner. And, you know, to see Clemson play, Dabo wants to score in a hurry. He kind of reminds you of Gus Malzahn. He wants to score in a hurry any way possible. He has one of the most dangerous weapons in college football in Deshaun Watson. He is the reason you need a dual-threat quarterback, DJ. He can do it all. He's going to keep the ball in this guy's hand. He's going to have the ball in his hand 85% of the time. So Clemson does well. They're still number one, but Oklahoma is also a team that is on a tear right now. A very dangerous team to be playing. I think they can score with Clemson, but Clemson has a way, DJ, of almost making the game so close, shooting themselves in the foot, making some kind of turnover. They have done that whole year, but it hadn't hurt them. They're still undefeated. They're still number one.
Absolutely. And again, for those folks out there that gave up on Auburn, they are in a bowl game, the Birmingham Bowl, and they're in a familiar place playing in Birmingham up against, of course, a team that had a great season, Memphis.
That's right. Memphis had a great year, man. They actually did a very good thing. They beat Ole Miss. I mean, beat them candidly, and I mean, blew them out. And I think it's going to be a good game. Great tourism idea for Birmingham. I know Robbie, our boy Robbie at the Colonnade Group, has a lot to do with that bowl game. It's going to be an interesting game, and there's a galore of people, Auburn people, in the Birmingham area.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to explain to you what this bowl break means. Both of us had the opportunity to play in many bowl games. We'll share with you what the teams are doing, what the coaches are doing in preparation, and of course, a whole lot more coming up next on Sports Visions.
Sports Vision is sponsored by Aflac, Crown Royal, Express Motors, Diverse Powers.
Truth be truth, the will to win will win. So intimidate your darkest fear. Revive every forgotten fantasy. Set goals you can never reach, then reach them. Count cards to fight fate stack deck. And if you want to win as much as you want to live, you're ready to reign on.
Want an opportunity to win a new Mercedes and help the Greater Columbus American Heart Association? Just purchase a ticket in the 2016 Mercedes-Benz raffle for a chance to win a C-Class, a GLA, a CLA, or the all-new Mercedes GLC. The raffle will take place January 23rd at 2 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus, 7470 Veterans Parkway. 2 cars will be given away. That's right, 2 Mercedes. Tickets can be purchased at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus or by calling 706-256-6100.
Someone's sandbagging.
I'd be tired too. He paid my claim in 1 day when I got hurt.
1 day? Serious hustle.
Serious duck.
In just 1 day, we process approve and pay. 1 day pay, only from Aflac.
Welcome back to Sports Vision. It's bowl season, and a lot of teams are going bowling, Dale. But you know what? I love this opportunity to explain to our viewers out there what actually happens this time of year. Because again, not only is it a break for the players and the coaches, the thing about it is that it's almost like an extra season or an extra opportunity for these coaches to evaluate players. In the case of Mark Richt, he gets an opportunity to go down as the head coach of the University of Miami and evaluate his players before spring practice even starts. With Kirby, unfortunately, he's got to go back and he has a commitment to the University of Alabama to compete for a national championship. But Will Muschamp, he'll get an opportunity to oversee the bowl preparation and get an extra look and an evaluation. But more importantly, this is an extra spring practice for a lot of the younger players on these teams that made it to the bowls. Not necessarily because they've added a half a dozen or so bowls since we played, and they start playing in the next week or so. But the teams that play after Christmas and around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, those teams have an opportunity to really get some extra practice time in.
Well, like I said, DJ, it's another season. Bowl practice, bowl season, it's an extra spring practice, and it's an opportunity to evaluate some of your players. Those younger players, they're not freshmen anymore, DJ. They're rising up, they're learning a little bit more, they're getting better, and it adds to the depth of the team that's going to the bowl game. So it helps the player. Then the other piece is it's an opportunity to receiving a reward. It's a vacation. It's a trip to a bowl game. They give nice gifts when you go to bowl games. I think really the NCAA basically says a kid can get $550 worth of gifts. On top of that, all your classes are over with, but at the same time, you got to get to that point. And again, you got finals you got to take, and then you got the holiday season. You might spend one day home for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and you on the road going to a bowl game. So it's a lot of stuff going on if you're a student athlete, but at the same time, the coaches get to evaluate. You continue to get better as a football player. So it's a great opportunity to grow. And it's a growing season during that time also, because before you know it, the bowl game over with DJ, and boom, you got off-season practice then.
Well, one thing is for sure that the conference championships were played on last Saturday, okay? For the teams that are going to the bowl games that didn't make it, of course, that started their break even earlier. But just talk about these teams in the conference championship games. For the next 8-9 days, they'll have off. And those teams that obviously didn't make it, they've been off for an extra week. So for these 15 or so days that these bowl teams have, what have they been doing? Well, obviously, like you said, they've been, of course, getting ready, catching up on finals, but they've gone back to the weight room. They are doing a lot of things. They've got away from football. The coaches are out on the road recruiting, and the players obviously are going back into the weight room, getting an early start on winter workouts. And again, a lot of conditioning before they come back together in a week or so to start back game planning for their games.
Well, DJ, like I said, my whole thing, what I enjoyed about the offseason and the bowl practice was that, first of all, you got to go to class. You don't worry about that. It's just the spirit of Christmas. You can get nobody's on campus but you and your guys, your teammates. You get to come home for a couple of days to see your people. And then, you get the gift piece, the bowl practice. That's what a 19, 20-year-old kid in New Orleans with some money in their pocket. Those are the kind of things that I like. Those are the rewards that I enjoyed the most out of the bowl situation. And I think most of these kids, they want to travel. They want to see something, and they want to be relaxed. Because most of the time they go in these towns, play a game on the weekend, boom, they're out of there that same day. So they get an opportunity to have almost like a working vacation.
Well, you and I both know that the upperclassmen are the ones that benefit from that because the young guys have no idea what's going on. They're just glad to be there. But again, having the benefit of 3 Sugar Bowls and a Cotton Bowl, and I know you've had your share of course, Sugar Bowls. It's so different now because, again, there's so much more that these players are able to get. They get rings for bowl games. They get an allotment of merchandise from the sponsors, and they also get travel money.
Well, like I said, player, it's a vacation. It's a working vacation, but it's to the victor goes the spoils. I mean, if you had a good season, you're going to be rewarded, and this is the time of the year, bowl time of the year, is that you get those rewards and you get those opportunities to do some of the things that you don't have the time to do when school is in and when the regular season is in. So it's a great time.
Before we end this segment, I know I mentioned that there's probably a dozen or more bowls that have been added since you and I have played college ball. What do you think about these teams that actually don't have good records making it to a bowl game.
I don't like that at all, and I think really, when you said good record, 6-6, 6-5, you got to win. I think the NCAA says that you have to win 6 games. It's all really all the bowls right now. It doesn't matter the college playoff piece. If you are not in the top 4, all the other bowls really don't matter because you don't have a chance to win a national championship. But if you're playing on New Year's Day or you're just playing on on Christmas Day, still. You're gonna have a great time. It's a time to relax. It's a time to, like I said, show some grace and show some remorse in the sense that we got rewarded for this anyway. We didn't win all our games, but it sure feel good to be able to go to a bowl game and have a good time.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Philip Davitt with ENS Men's Clothing Warehouse. We'd like to say thank you, Columbus and the Bi-City area, for 20 great years on Macon Road in the heart of Columbus. We're inviting you out to our 20th anniversary sale with bigger savings and deals than ever before.
To help show our appreciation, ENS is offering complete suit and tux packages only $99. Jackets, pants, shirts, and ties, a $199 value for just $99. Find us on Facebook for details on how to win a suit or tux package. Come celebrate our 20th anniversary. ENS, where you get more for a whole lot less.
Want an opportunity to win a new Mercedes and help the Greater Columbus American Heart Association? Just purchase a ticket in the 2016 Mercedes-Benz raffle for a chance to win a C-Class, a GLA, a CLA, or the all-new Mercedes GLC. The raffle will take place January 23rd at 2 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus, 7470 Veterans Parkway. 2 cars will be given away. That's right, 2 Mercedes. Tickets can be purchased at Mercedes-Benz of Columbus or by calling 706-256-6100.
Departure, arrival, search, post, chat, check in. New foods, new fun, new favorites. All right, new clients. Don't stop there. Explore, discover, connect, grow, celebrate, work, live, play. Breathe. At Hilton Garden Inn, we know you'll love our cook-to-order breakfast, first-rate amenities, and award-winning service. So count on us to give you all the ways to make the most of every stay. Hilton Garden Inn. It's better at the Garden.
And welcome back to Sports Visions. It's now time for our Atlanta Falcon report, but I think after so many failures here the past few weeks, we might as well call it our NFL report because, it's getting kind of getting difficult to talk about the Falcons, especially when they've lost the last 6 out of 7 games.
Man, that is just, it's awful. So, we're just going to move on that, but at the same time, something's going to have to be done by your boy Matt Ryan. That's going to have to happen, but again, and the play calling couples with that because they're having a problem, DJ, inside the red zone. Against Tampa Bay, if they score 1 touchdown, they win the game, but they settle for field goals. So I looked at the play calling situation as being horrendous, and at the same time, their defense can't get off the field on 3rd down. So it's a team problem. It's not just Matt Ryan. It's a whole team problem. But the other good thing about it is that, to me, I like how the Carolina Panthers have been playing, DJ, and they're still undefeated. The Falcons play them this week, and they're going to have a problem. They're out of the playoffs. They're not going to get in a wild card or anything. They're done.
Let's talk about the Falcons because, again, I like what you said about Matt Ryan. He's struggling, but it's not just a Matt Ryan problem because I had an opportunity to watch some of the breakdown and watch some tape and to see what exactly was going on in the red zone as Matt Ryan got the team down inside there. And I saw on a couple of occasions, one in particular, a receiver slipped down just out on a natural cut, just slipped to the ground. I also saw that, Julio Jones being very ordinary. It's almost like once he ran his route, he didn't try to work to get open. You got to have a big player like that, and a lot has been said, including Julio saying, why they don't throw the ball to me. But like I said, on the tape that I saw, it didn't show him working to get open as you would, again, as a top round, a top flight receiver. Yes, he's had a tremendous season. He's gone over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards. But getting in the red zone, you have to actually want it. You got to make plays for your quarterback. When your quarterback is struggling, all the other guys around him have to do their part and more. The linemen have to make sure that they carry out their assignments. The running backs have to get the blitz pickups, and they make sure that they take advantage of the situation when they get the ball in their hands. And certainly the Julio Joneses of the world, you have to make sure that you don't just mope and just because you don't get it, you got to make sure you got to work yourself open. So
well, DJ, you covered a lot of ground there. The Matt Ryan piece, the receiver piece, but I'm gonna cover this ground right here. The offensive coordinator. The play calling, DJ, It is awful. I'm going to tell you why I say that. Every team that plays the Falcons play their receivers tight. When the last time you seen the Atlanta Falcons throw a bomb, throw a deep post pattern, a deep flag? They don't even throw the ball deep. So the other teams are saying, okay, corners walk up on these guys. We're going to play them tight. And it makes for a tight window for a Matt Ryan to throw that ball in because nobody respects the Falcons to go deep. And now Julio Jones, he can go deep on you, but nobody is going deep. Everything is short and under, and that's how the corners are playing. They're jumping routes. You think, I'm sitting there watching, you sitting there watching. We got a little football sense, but at the same time, I'm like, why don't you throw the ball deep?
Well, my sense tells me they don't throw the ball deep because they want him to get the ball out of his hands quickly because they don't trust the offensive line. So that's one thing because, again, throwing the ball deep, yeah, you don't have to throw the ball, when the receiver's 20 yards down the field. A deep route can start, as soon as 10 yards, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. However, you know what? It still takes a certain amount of time. And I think for the sake of the Atlanta Falcons coaching staff and their play calling, they do not trust that offensive line for a deep ball game.
I understand that, but even with these quick passes and these short passes, they still are getting to him.
Yes.
He's still getting up dirty,
Right.
getting knocked around. At the same time, the double move. Somebody's in the box. Somebody's got to make some changes. We talking about the last 5 or 6 games. Everybody's been playing the same play on defense, and you got to throw the ball deep. You got to do a double move here and there. They got a good enough running game to do, have a kind of a combined offense. Right now, DJ, they're awful, but we ain't gonna belabor that point.
Well, of course, Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers upended the Falcons, and now they're on to, of course, the most celebrated, the most exciting team in the National Football League. That's Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. And you know what? Cam's been continuing this. We've been talking about it every week.
That's
I think
right.
he's starting now to get the respect that he deserves.
That's right. He's getting the respect that he deserves. He's doing great things on and off the field, DJ. I think really a lot of people don't really know how flamboyant Cam Newton is, but he's doing some great things on and off the field with the kids, giving away balls. He really has been a trendsetter this year. And right now, you got Brady and you got, Carson Palmer talking about these guys being guys for the MVP. I got Cam. And then really knowing Cam and watching Cam the last years, even from the Auburn standpoint to the Carolina Panthers, when Cam is rolling like he is right now, he usually finishes real good and maybe MVP, but he's probably looking at it from a team standpoint. And to see how team-oriented the Carolina Panthers are, I saw some footage from them being in the locker room after the game. They seem to be a close-knit group, and I guess that's what winning does for you.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Crown Royal Picks of the Week.
All right, DJ, our Crown Royal Picks of the Week. We got the Falcons will be going up to Charlotte to play the Panthers. The Saints will travel to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. Steelers will go to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The Seahawks will play the Ravens. The Bills will be at the Eagles. The Lions at the Rams. The Raiders will play the Broncos. And the Dallas Cowboys will travel to Green Bay to play the Packers. Don't forget to email all your picks to Dale Williams at DaleWilliams@SportsVisionUSA.com by 12 o'clock on Sunday.
A smile is the most admirable thing you can wear. And for anyone age 1 to 101, Cook Dental Care has a smile for you. Dr. Kathy L. Cook offers a wide range of individualized, innovative services from basic preventative dentistry to specialized care. We provide comprehensive dental care for the entire family, including pediatric. Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome. So for your family's dental care, visit Cook Dental Care.
Scott Sawyer with Diverse Power. Diverse Power wants our customers to enjoy all the benefits that reliable, consistent electric service provides. Our BPI certified technicians offer duct blaster testing of your HVAC ductwork to locate leaks. We also offer a full blower door examination that will qualify homeowners and home builders to meet the new Energy Code building standards. At Diverse Power, we offer innovation through vision, quality through service.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. And Dale, I tell you, man, we would be remiss if we closed this show out without thanking the folks that made it possible for us to do our 8th annual Columbus Valley Area High School Awards Luncheon of course, featuring Nick Saban. What a tremendous day we had, of course, honoring our local coaches and players.
I mean, that's big time, DJ. And like you said, honoring the coaches and the players, but at the same time, to see the corporate support that we get for this award. I mean, after 8 years, it's getting better and better and better. And for these guys and these kids to see and be exposed to that kind of a luncheon and that kind of a banquet gives them a lot of exposure also. And exposure gives you vision, and they want to get better and better as themselves. But great outpouring, DJ. And that's what Sports Vision does, man.
What a tremendous opportunity for a person that obviously our young people and our young student athletes and our young coaches wouldn't normally have the opportunity to hear, to see in person. But to see the most powerful man in sports, or one of the most powerful men in sports, Nick Saban, come in and inspire and motivate these young people to touch some lives. It was a lot of our sponsors, a lot of the adults there, that were, sitting on pins and needles too. I mean, it was just a great opportunity all around.
And then, DJ, the other thing that I like, when we went back and we talked about some of the players that have come through the Sports Vision Award luncheon, from Isaiah Crowell to Jarvis Jones to Jordan Jenkins to Reuben Foster, Rashawn Evans, Brian Broger, Deshaun Marshall, all these guys kind of lit up. And I'm like, hey, some good people have come through these ranks coming to this luncheon, and it made me feel good also. Like, man, that ain't bad, right?
Absolutely, of course. Starting this thing out when we did, of course, 8 years ago. And again, having those sponsors out there who some of them are still with us to this day, and others who will be joining us. But, it's a beautiful thing. And for the folks in that room, and obviously in the weeks to come, when we develop the B-roll to show you just how tremendous of an event it was, we're going to share it with you because, again, it's special because not only, like I said, do we get an opportunity to touch the lives of our young student athletes and our coaches that mean so much to these kids as our mentors. Both of you and I, we mention it all the time. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for our coaches, our football coaches, from Pop Warner to our college coaches and pro coaches.
That's right.
It's just a tremendous opportunity for us to pay homage to those coaches and to also let those players know how much we appreciate them.
That's right, DJ. And really, it is a great fraternity to be in. But one of the biggest things that we want to do this more. And we say this every year. We want to do something for the girls. We want to recognize our student athletes here in the Chattahoochee Valley area. And with the support and the help of the community and our corporate people here, we can continue to do that.
With that said, thank you so much. And that's going to do it for this edition of Sports Visions. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.